There's a guy out here, leaf blowing. Like he just cut the grass and stuff at one of my neighbor's house. And he's leaf blowing all the grass away. But I have no idea where he's blowing it. Like, bro, are you blowing it into somebody else's lawn? He's like blowing it down the street. Okay, no. I thought he was blowing it down the drain, like, you know, like the clown's gonna get you drain. But now it just looks like he's just blowing dirt everywhere. Stop playing in the dirt, dude. I need to film this episode. Hi friends, welcome to episode 55 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadir Tani. Love bug. Go away. Oh man. Love bug. It's love bug season, y'all. That means they're gonna be wafting by on the breeze. I kind of feel like they're gonna end up in my hair, and that's a little bit terrifying. Anyway, I'm coming to you from my home in Central Florida. Today is Tuesday, September 18th? 19th? Something like that. Yes. This is my weekly crafty, knitty, crochet-y podcast that I love to share with you guys. I really do enjoy getting on here and talking with you all, chit-chatting, showing you guys what I'm up to. It is definitely a thing that I really have begun looking forward to. So thank you guys for being here. And with that, welcome to this week's episode. I have some finished objects, some works in progress, and stuff like that. So let's just get into it. So my first finished object I have down here on my dress form Jane. It is the Aria top by the Drunk Knitter. Oh, I almost dropped Jane. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da! So it fits Jane way better than it fits me. So as you can see, it is a halter top, or like a halter neck tank top, all stockinette. I really did enjoy like knitting it. It's made from Joy DK, 100% acrylic. This was a test knit that I did for her, for Safiyyah, the Drunk Knitter. I finished, when I originally finished this, because I showed it to you guys last week, the armholes were comically small, and you can actually see where the armholes used to end. Like this was the original ending of the armholes, and then when she found that a lot of people were having fit issues in the armhole section, she went ahead and did a modification to the pattern that had you knit like a couple more inches up so that it would give, you know, space for your arms. So when I put this on, like when I finished knitting it and everything to her pattern specs, I don't know if I have a big head and deep arms. Like, I don't know if that's a thing, like deep arms. I don't know. But the armholes were still tight on me. So what I think I'm going to do is, well, first I'm going to steam the breaks off of this baby. Like steaming everything. I'm stretching everything. I've already stretched these armholes out quite a bit, but because it is acrylic yarn, there's only so much stretch that you can like force into it before you break it. So I steamed it, I stretched it. I didn't like kill it, I don't think. So So I think there's like a little bit more that I can stretch if I heat it up enough. But I'm gonna do that, see how that works, and if it still doesn't give me enough space, like quite enough space for my arms, I might rip out the neckband, knit a couple more inches, and then put the neckband back on. Because this is how much yarn I have left, so I've got quite enough to do some more modifications. But the test knit portion is done, so her pattern works and everything. I think it's just like Kalisha measurements that are making it not fit me quite well, but that's nothing that can't be fixed. So that is my first finished object, and y'all gonna have to pardon me. I really, look at that sweat, that's disgusting. No, it's not, it's Florida. I really wanted to film outside today because I've been kind of down the last couple days, and sunlight is good for that, and I'm getting all the sunlight right now. There's like no clouds. Well, there are clouds in the sky, but they're like low and over there. There's no clouds in this sky, and the sun is just blazing down in all of its fiery glory. And I am just as hot as I can be. Y'all, I might even have to put my hair up because this is like wearing a wool hat in summertime. Let's figure this out right quick. Ta-da! All right, so Aria is done. For now, I'm not going to do any modifications, but if I do, I'll let you guys know about it. The next finished object that I have, I'm super excited about. I feel like every time I talk about this shawl, it starts with the next blah, 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 the next work in progress I have. I'm super excited about it. Y'all already know that I'm super excited about the Gemini shawl because that's what this is. And yes, you heard right. It is a finished object. We're gonna call it a finished object because for all intents and purposes, it is finished, no longer connected to the yarn. This is how much yarn I had left over. Whoop. This is how much yarn I had left over at the end. This is Madeline Tosh Merino Light in the Crumble colorway, Malabrigo Machita in Frank Ochre, Birch Hollow Fibers in Corn Silk, and they are all singles. So we'll put that to the side. Now, before I show it to you, you guys know that I ran into a dilemma with the Mad Tosh yarn because it bleeds like nobody's business. So I am going to frog the first half of Gemini and recrochet it, but what I decided to do was completely finish the design, get it all written up, and then do the frogging after the fact. So that way you guys don't have to wait forever to see it, and I can hopefully get it written up faster. So, and because of that, it's not blocked, so the edges are curly. The edges aren't as straight as I want them to be. The points are not as pointy, but that's because this baby is not getting wet until I set that red yarn. So here she is. She? No, he. Here they are. So let me show you this way. So this is where Gemini started. Okay, no, that's not true. So this is the tip, and then I'll walk you through the story. It goes like that, and then it has that. We go into this side, out to the wing. Okay, so the way that this pattern, oh, it is too hot to even lay it on me. Goodness gracious. the way that this pattern is written, I've broken down the segments and kind of titled them to go along with the story of the Gemini twins. So you start out with one side of the shawl. So you start with this beginning motif with your two twin colors. And this square bit here is called We Are Born. Okay? And then We Are Born goes into this mitered square, which is called Death Separates Us. From there, you have this winged section that is Reborn Above. And then you do the same thing on the other side, switching out your twin color. So We Are Born, Death Separates Us, Reborn Above. And then after you make your two sections, or your two halves of the shawl, they are joined with, oh, can you even, if I bring it in the sun, can you see it? Yeah, you can. Okay, they're joined with this chain, like a chain join, so that you can see like the divide and everything like that. And then up here, it's just a regular seam. And then you have the edging that goes all the way around. So the only thing that, the only thing more that I think I'm going to do with this shawl is I think I'm going to add tassels. I'm going to put one tassel here, and then tassels at the end of the little wings. So, because I love you guys, I'm going to put this shawl on. Send help if I pass out from a heat stroke. So I like to wear my shawls like, what is this, bandana style, I think? So I wear it just like, or I will wear it just like a triangle shawl. And you have your squares up there, and then you can like zhuzh it around. I really like that zigzag detail, that's fun. So the way, because it's like shorter than a triangle shawl, it all like hugs right up around your neck. So anybody up in the north where it actually gets cold, you'll be able to have that nice warmth around your face. This part also stands up because it is like more solid than the rest of the shawl. So that could definitely come up like this. If you want to tuck it into a coat, tuck your face down into it, you're good to go. Oh my gosh. Help! Help! Also, you can drape it over your shoulders. Oh my goodness. And it's just like that. It doesn't go too deep in the back, so that's really nice. So it keeps you nice and comfy on top. And then another thing that I liked about it, when I saw like how narrow it is, you can squish it up like this and then wear it just as a regular scarf. I love it. When I was playing around with it yesterday to see like different ways of wearing it, what did I do? I think I had it, I don't remember how I had it, but this part right here, this section was like real prominent in the front, and I was like, yo, I am totally like pulling down all of these Gryffindor vibes. That was completely unintentional. But yeah, so that's Gemini. I'm going to get working on the pattern. That's the back. I'm going to get working on the pattern. But yeah, what do you guys think? I think it is such a fun design. Like, I haven't seen many shawls shaped like this, so that's really fun. And then this edge will come to a point once I'm able to block it. So yeah, and I think it's going to be a fun approach to colors, because what I'm going to recommend for your twin colors, for them to be two colors from the same color family, and then the super contrasty color, or the color that represents death, would be a color from a different color family, or a completely different like saturation value, anything like that. So you could technically, I guess, do this in a monochromatic color scheme and do like a light gray, a mid-tone gray, and then a black. I think that would be really cool. Or like 3 tones of the same color family. I think that will look really awesome. So I think I'm going to try like my next one that I make after I write the pattern, and then I crochet one from the pattern to make sure that I'm not like talking gibberish and rubbish in my pattern. I think my next one is going to be a monochromatic color scheme, and I think that's going to be really fun. Look at how much I am glistening, y'all. My apologies. It's ridiculously hot outside. I don't know why I thought that I could just sit out there and just record and be fine. Everything I took with me outside feels like I just put it through the dryer. All the electronics are hot. Oh, my phone says 5 apps have been closed. Your device is overheating. Until your device cools down, you will only be able to make emergency calls. This is ridiculous. It wasn't even sitting in the sun. So we're gonna put that over there so my phone doesn't think it's dying. So yeah. You can see Gemini better in here because I'm farther away from the camera. But this is the whole shebang. The wingspan, once I block it out, it's probably going to be close to 5.5, 6 feet. And then the depth, I'd say maybe 1.5 feet. So that is it. I'm going to get writing on this and start picking out my yarn colors for the next one. I actually kind of want to make 2 more of these, like another fingering weight one and then maybe a worsted weight one, because I feel like that would be pretty awesome. But we'll see. There's other things that I want to create and stuff before I start like making duplicates of like the same thing. Like I only have 2 hands and I can only crochet and knit so much, unfortunately. I need extra hands, like extra hands, so that I can be knitting and crocheting and writing and just doing all of the creative things that I want to do at the same time, because that's what's happening in my brain. So that's Gemini. Gemini done. And yeah, where'd that hook go? There it is. The whole thing is worked up with a 3.5mm hook. BT does. Let's see. Those are my only 2 finished objects. I do have a half object, which is the first L Tannen sock. And I did Google like how to pronounce it, and it wasn't like super helpful. So we're just gonna go with L Tannen. And that's how it looks on the blocker. And I really like it. Like I'm very, very satisfied with this sock design. So I started writing it up already. And I am now like writing the instructions for a short row wrap and turn heel. And I have to go back over that because I did all of it. I wrote all the instructions without actually knitting them. So I was like writing from memory. And you know, that could go either way. That could be really good. Like, good job, Kalisha. You really do have that memorized and can explain it to another person. Or it could go terribly. What the heck were you doing? So yeah, the last time you guys saw, I was at this marker and I knit all the way halfway down and did a toe. I do have the second one cast on, and I'm a little ways into it. Is it in this bag? I think so. Yeah. I've got 2 socklets in the same bag here. I don't know why, because I have multiple other bags that they could be in by themselves, having their own space. But I decided to shove everybody and their yarns in this one little tiny bag. I mean, it fits, but whatevs. So this is Eltanin sock number 2. I'm just a little tiny ways into the leg. And I don't know. I feel like everything that I'm pulling out is like a little bit Harry Potter this week, and it's completely unintentional. Like unintentionally Harry Potter up in this piece. Like Gemini looked really Gryffindor. Eltanin is a little bit Slytherin, and then excuse me, I'm choking. Because of that, I put my Hufflepuff owl on here, and I just need something for Ravenclaw. There is something for Ravenclaw. Hey, who knew? Everybody's represented this week. Yay, it's a family reunion. So, that's the half object. I showed you sock 2, pattern in progress for Eltanin. And this next work in progress, oh my gosh, I have 2 more works in progress. Holy cannoli, I have cast on all the things this week. Surprise! Where'd that other one go? I have so many whips, they are lost to me. Okay, so we have this one, and I'll do these at the same time. And this one. Okay, Eltanin goes down there. So both of these are vanilla socks. Which one did I cast on first? This one. This one got cast on first because last week I mentioned that I was starting to reread the Harry Potter books, which makes it even funnier that there's so many house colors happening right now. But I was reading book 1 last week, and I was like halfway through it or something like that. So I finished book 1 and started book 2. I finished book 2 last night. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to get my little hands on book 3. But I was trying to knit on Eltanin while reading Harry Potter, but that moss stitch was not going well with trying to read and getting caught up in the story. So I was like, you know what? I want to knit and read, so I just cast on a vanilla sock, as you do. You always need a vanilla sock on the needles, right? So originally this was on magic loop, like I like to knit my socks normally. But then I decided to cast on this one, and I wanted this to be on the magic loop. So I decided to put this one on DPNs. And it's going okay. Like I'm judgment is still, you know, out. The jury is still out on whether or not Kalisha likes knitting on DPNs. I haven't like tangled myself up or dropped any stitches or did anything crazy, but I also haven't been knitting these on the DPNs very long. I think maybe like 7 to 10 rounds. But so far so good. The only like what do you call it? Complaint? I don't even know if it's really a complaint, but the only thing that makes me go about these DPNs is that they are aluminum ones I got at Hobby Lobby, and they make the yarn squeak. And I haven't had that problem with any yarn except for acrylic. And I don't know if it's, I don't know. This yarn, it is Superba Bamboo Superwash. So it's 50% virgin wool, 25% polyamide, 25% viscose. And I don't know if it's like the polyamide viscose part that's making it squeaky on here, but it's a little bit annoying. So I was thinking that since I really like ChowGoo circulars, that I would look and see if I can find like a set of, I don't know, ChowGoo DPNs. Is that a thing? Probably. Who knows? So I'm not like pressed about it, because if anything, I'll just work slowly on these, and then whenever I free up another pair of sock needles, like when I finish the El Tannen sock, I'll just move these to that. I do have another set of 2.25 millimeter needles somewhere. It's my interchangeable ChowGoo minis, and I have no idea where they've disappeared off to. But somewhere in this house, there's a naked pair of needles that needs a sock on them. So you need to make yourself known, needles. Come back. Whatevs. But yeah, so that's them. This is how it's working up. I don't know if it's gonna have like a color repeat or anything like that, but I'm enjoying them. And it's a nice yarn. Don't lose the other DPN. That's what it looks like. I actually got this yarn as a really nice gift from my friend Tyrion. So hi Tyrion, if you're watching, thank you. So that is them. It's just a regular vanilla sock for when you need to not pay attention to what you're doing. Now this vanilla sock, I cast on for the pumpkin mow. So Gabby of Once Upon a Corgi and Joanna of Stitching the High Notes. I get Stitching the High Notes and stringing it together mixed up. I really have to think about it. But Joanna is Stitching the High Notes. They host a yearly make-along called the Pumpkin Mow, where you have to use pumpkin stuff. So yarn that's pumpkin colored, pumpkin themed, just pumpkin, all the things. So I started this vanilla sock. These are my favorite color socks, fall edition, because as you can see, they are yellow, orange, and green, which are my favorite colors. And this yarn here is Knit Pick Stroll and Pumpkin. This here is Lorna's Laces in Envy. And it's going pretty well. The Lorna's Laces is a 80-20 superwash merino nylon mix, and I feel like it's not as soft as the Knit Picks, so I don't know if that has to do with it having more wool in it. That probably does have to do with it having more wool in it, why it's a little bit scratchier. But it's not like scratchy, but it's just not as like soft and squishy as the Stroll. This is a very, the Lorna's Laces is a very, what is the word? It's not thin, but it doesn't have like any loft to it. Like it's all, that's it. What you see is what you get. There's not really any squish factor to it, but it's still good. So I have 50 grams of this, so I will be making a pair of socks with contrast heels, toes, and cuffs. And my little stitch marker here, this, oh, stop dancing around. This clay star was made for me by Melody of the Melody Crochet Podcast. So hi Melody, thank you. So we will wrap this back up and put it back in the bag with all the rest of the sock homies. All of the sock friends in the back. Ooh, do 3 socks fit in here? No. Yes. Oh my gosh. I don't know why you would really want to do this, but this is 3 sock whips in one of my small Quirky Monday Crafts bags. So now we will get to the last work in progress, which I'm very excited about. But you guys know that is what I say about everything. That is what I say about everything that pops into my brain and I start working on. I'm very excited about it. I'm just going to have to stop saying that, or it becomes like, how many times can Kalisha say I'm very excited about something? This is living in one of my favorite bags. I love this fabric. And if you guys have watched for any amount of time, you know why I love this fabric. I mean, duh. But this is a project that does not have a name because I just kind of like thought, I wonder if I can do this, and started working on it. So before I show you it, I'm going to put up a couple pictures. Now these are some things that I put up on Instagram. I guess I can show you the yarns, because I bought 2 of each color. Okay, so this is the color scheme, and I put up a picture on Instagram with some stripe options and asked you guys to vote, and pretty much everybody voted for the one that had all 4 colors in it. So the tribe has spoken, and I'm creating this thing with these colors. And this is why I said there's something here for Ravenclaw, because these colors are next to each other in this object. So that's them. I really like how fall it is, but it's not like crazy fall. Now this yarn is Lion Brand ZZ Twist, which is basically a yarn that is like spun with the crocheter in mind. Typically yarns are spun with an S twist. The Z twist yarn is just spun the opposite way, which is supposed to work better with the way that you wrap yarn around the hook when you crochet. So it's supposed to give you better stitch definition, like a more pleasant crocheting experience. I have words about that, but we'll get into that later. So I have these 4 colors. I've already told you that one's pumpkin. This one I think is gray. Yep. This is cranberry and peacock. Yep, peacock. So, and here is the project. What do you think it is? I'm crocheting a sweater. So what is special about this sweater, and the thing that I wanted to figure out if I could do, is the round yoke. So of course, because whenever I get an idea, it's just like it immediately starts snowballing into this giant thing. I went, I should crochet with this yarn. I want to crochet a top. I want to crochet a sweater. I wanted to have a round yoke. I want to do crochet color work in the round with a round yoke. I had to be like, whoa, Kalisha, stop. Let's do the round yoke first, and then we can see about doing crochet color work with a round yoke. Come on, girl. Get at least 1 foot on the ground. So this is the sweater so far, and it fits really nicely. I actually sat one night and took like all of my measurements, which it is kind of difficult to measure your own arms yourself. So the measurements may be a little bit off, but who really cares? Not me. So I'm gonna put this on so you can see it. So I'm just going to keep crocheting down. It is very airy, so there's quite a bit of positive ease in here. Part of me wants to like start doing some, or not start doing some decreases. Part of me wants to make another one and like decrease immediately to make it more fitted. But then part of me is like, bruh, this is Florida. You need like air circulation if you're gonna wear a sweater. So there's that. I really like the colors. I like the feel of the yarn. It's very smooth, it's very shiny. It kind of almost has like that look of like a mercerized cotton. But yeah, I think it's 100% acrylic, right? Yep, 100% acrylic. Now, let's talk about this yarn. So I don't know if like having the Z-twist yarn is really making a difference in like my crocheting experience. I will say it feels different in like a very slight kind of weird way. Like you would look at this yarn and say, that does look a little bit different. It's very ropey. That's one thing it is. It's ropey. It's kind of slick. Like I pull from the center of the balls when I'm crocheting from them, and they were tangling like nobody's business. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it through my ball winder, wind it into a cake so that I can just like pull from the outside of the cake and call it a day. These were so hard to wind because they just roll right off of each other. Like the strands just roll right off of each other. It was quite the headache. I don't know what I'm gonna do like when I finish the balls that I'm currently working on. Like I really don't want to wind any more of this yarn, but I know that if I try pulling it from the inside, it's probably gonna tangle. I might just have to struggle with pulling it from the outside because, oh my gosh. It does give you really good stitch definition. I feel like if I wore this outside, it'd be very breezy because like that's the gauge. And I'm crocheting this, I think, with a 5.5. Yeah, a 5.5 millimeter hook. And I think this calls for a 6. Yeah, this calls for a 6. So if I had gone with the recommended hook size, like it would be even more lacy, which I don't know why you would want that. So yes, I kind of like went a little bit willy-nilly any kind of way with my round yoke shaping. I did not, the only thing that I wanted to make sure was that my increases didn't line up because I didn't want to have like, you know, like increased stripes going down my my yoke. So I just kind of like, each row has 10 increases and I spaced them out evenly but started them in just randomly different places. So they're literally going like this in each row. So none of them line up, and I think that worked pretty well. This stripe here looks a little bit angular, but that's fine. That is fine. I really like it. And at the rate that I'm going, it's gonna be done like quick, fast. I am considering doing long sleeves on it, but as I sit here with just the cap sleeves that happen when you separate the sleeves out, I might not. I might just put like a ribbing on here and be done. I don't know. I was thinking what I could do is just make one of the sleeves and like stand like this and see if I like it with the sleeve or without a sleeve, and then kind of figure it out from there. But yeah, and look, okay, you guys can see how messy these cakes have gotten. And I even put them all side by side in the bottom of this bag so that they would hold each other in. What is this? Seriously? I can't. I cannot with your behavior, ZZ Twist. So, whatever I have left over, I do want to make a hat from it to see how that works up. Maybe I'll like it better like as a hat yarn, where I'm not working with 4 different yarns at the same time. Who knows? So yeah. And that completes our accidentally Harry Potter house roll call. So yeah, have you got any ideas on what I should call this? I don't know. I don't know any constellations. Like, no constellations immediately come to mind when I think of this top or when I look at it. But we'll see like how it feels as I continue. Oh, also, I have this little progress keeper, which was given to me by Claudia of the Crochet Luna podcast. I feel like all of the friends have gifts in here, like little special items, and that makes me very happy. This community is so great, y'all. And that, my friends, is the end of works in progress, I believe. Oh, I need a coaster on there. That's just dripping water everywhere. Okay. There is another maker plan that I have. I didn't bring the yarn for it out here, but I did show it last week. I got this ball of worsted weight. I forget what kind of yarn it was, but I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. And the color was Irish Shamrock. And I bought it at the stash sale. And I was saying, like, you know, I got it because of nostalgia, and, you know, my husband and my first birthday, our first date was on St. Patrick's Day, so I love all things clover. And I really wanted something to do with this yarn, but it's 100% wool, like I will felt wool. And I was like, I don't know what I can do with this. And someone in the comments said to make a clover stuffy. And that is a great idea. That's why you guys are here, because you're geniuses. Thank you. So I went on Ravelry and I did find a couple options for clover stuffies. I do want it to be a 3-leaf clover. So I found a pattern for a 4-leaf clover stuffy, and I'm going to look at it and see if I can like modify it into a 3-leaf clover. That might be like doing the most, but I'm Kalisha and I do the most. Nice to meet you. So that is an idea that I have going for maker plans. And that's everything for maker plans. Stash positions, I showed you the rest of the ZZ Twist yarn. Whatever is left from there, like if I don't, like if I have any complete like full balls of yarn, I'm probably just gonna return it to the store. Cause well. And then I did purchase another shawl and a cake. This is Shawl and a Cake Unique Unicorn. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, that's really cute, all those unicorn colors. And then there's like, what is that? What is that? Unicorn poop? I'm definitely cutting that out. Like, seriously, guys? I feel like whenever like companies get together and they're like deciding on these colorways, they'll have like a beautiful colorway, and like even look at this, look at the swatch. It's like, oh yeah. What? Like someone's like, you know what this needs? You know what this unicorn needs? Poop. And not just like rainbow unicorn poop. Green baby poop. Because that's what color that is. I have no idea what I'm going to make with this thing. But that little stripe right there will definitely not be a part of the party. But this was definitely an impulse buy. Because like I said earlier, I've been feeling kind of down, and I had a coupon, so I bought it. That's it. So that is everything crafty, I think. Let me look around. Yes. Yes, that's everything crafty for this week. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is a project that, if you follow me on Instagram, you would already have seen my post about it. My friend Tiffany and I are going to be doing another love bombing. So if you remember, a few months ago for Mental Health Awareness Month, we did a love bombing called MHA Love Bombs, where we made green ribbons and then hung tags with encouraging words on them, and then hung them around wherever it was we were. And this past week, well, no, the week that started on the 10th, on September 10th, was Suicide Awareness and Prevention Week. And I wanted to do something for the week, but y'all, when I tell you not my mood has been down, but I've just been down. And luckily I haven't like gone down far enough or fast enough that I haven't been able to still like tread water and keep my head up. And you know, like I've had some bad days, but it's okay. Like, it's okay. Anything that swings down can swing up. But she had asked me about doing something before the week happened, and I was like, yeah, we definitely need to do something. And then and I just dropped everything. So we ended up postponing it, which I think is going to be for the best. We're postponing it until the last Saturday in September, which is the 29th. And so because we have time now, I would like to involve you guys. So you have two ways that you can participate in our love bombing. So the hashtag for this one is going to be SP Love Bombs. And for suicide prevention, love bombs. And so the two ways that you can participate: you can make your own love bombs, which are going to be orange or yellow ribbons, and I will put a link to a tutorial video that I put together about how to make a really easy awareness ribbon, and then hang tags from it with words of encouragement. Yes, words of encouragement for anyone that might be struggling, or anything like that. Or if you don't want to make your own ribbons, you can leave comments down below of what you would like a tag on an awareness ribbon for suicide awareness to say. Like, what words of encouragement would you put on those ribbons? Leave those down below, and then when we do our when we do our love bombing, I will put your words of encouragement on the tags so that we can spread those around. So, like I said earlier when I was talking about the sweater, when I get an idea, it just starts snowballing. So the original idea was just make 10 ribbons with the tags and some encouraging words. We'll just go out and hang them around somewhere downtown Orlando. And I say, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. And then that idea started spiraling. And this is where I am now. So I want to make like essentially like a yellow blanket, like a banner, and then hang all of the ribbons on the banner, or hang a lot of the ribbons on the banner. And it will be kind of like it says, take what you need, and have like different encouragements written on each ribbon so that people, as they're passing, or people whoever see it, can take which ribbon they want, or what word of encouragement that they need. I have a list of encouragements, as well as some actions from the To Write Love on Her Arms website, suicide awareness actions. So different lifelines, crisis lines, text crisis line, different things like that, like different, what do you call them? Resources that they had on their website. And one of the things that I thought was really nice, when I started writing the encouragements, like all of the orange ones are encouragements that I tell myself. And like specifically this week, when I've been having like the down days and things like that, things that I'll remind myself, or things that I'll say to myself. But then the black ones are actually encouragements that you all put on one of my Instagram posts when I was talking about having a bad day. And I really, really cannot say enough how much I appreciate having you guys in my life. Like, I try on here and in life in general to like be that positive person as much as I can, like to be the strong friend, to be the person that is trying to uplift people around them, and like that's what I want to be, right? But when you are like putting so much energy into being that kind of person, and then you have your own down days, it's almost like you have to, not have to, it's almost like I'm simultaneously pulling someone up while trying not to drown myself. And it gets difficult. And whenever I do talk about having, you know, a down moment, or being hard on myself, or how I'm feeling, or if I'm feeling my mood actively swing down, you know, if I mention it, there's always someone who comes with a word of encouragement for me, and that it just reinvigorates me to be more encouraging of others, because I'm like, when I need that energy, I know it's out there to come back to me, so I have to keep giving it to you all. So I'm already incorporating you guys into this love bombing, whether you write a comment down below or not. So there's that. But I do want, you know, whatever encouragements you would want to say to someone who's struggling, or that you would want to share with someone who's struggling, or the encouragements that you tell yourself whenever you're struggling, or encouragements that you wish someone would have said to you. Leave those in the comments down below, so that our love bombing can be like full of these. Like, I just want it to be like so overfilled with encouragement and love that people can't help but to smile when they see it, and share it with people, and be blessed by our crafty endeavors. You know what I mean? So thank you all for being encouragements for me. Thank you all for being something that I look forward to. This morning was a little bit rough, and even though I know like what like my own red flags are, like when I don't want to get out of the bed, or if I'm just feeling lethargic and I'm not motivated to do anything, I know that I need to get ahead of whatever that melancholy is that's trying to creep up on me. I have to keep moving. And because I knew that I wanted to podcast today, that was a huge motivator to force myself to get up and force myself to get dressed and gather up all these things and write my show notes. And like, I had specific actions that I could do to keep myself moving just because this Craftcast exists. And I thank you guys for this. So I look forward to your encouragements so that I can build up this Take What You Need banner. And yeah, so definitely look out for more posts about that on Instagram as the time gets around. If you decide to participate in your areas and you want to hang like your own love bombs, definitely take pictures of them and post them online. Hashtag them with SA love bombs so that we can all see them. I'm excited whenever you guys like participate in one of my little schemes. But yeah, that's everything for today, guys. I hope you are blessed. I hope you have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being part of my universe. Bye.